Kelly with Kellyscards.ca, and welcome to this Make a Card video. I'm going to make a Mother's Day card out of some of these things, and to start out I'm going to use this Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock, and I have already pre-cut it down, and I will create the card base here. What I love about this paper is it blends so nicely with the distress inks. A lot of people really like this paper for inking and distressing and stamping. So I'm just going to create a nice crease with this, and we'll get that out of the way. To start out, I'm going to use this Simon Says stamp. Now this is one of their Emma background stamps, and this came out on one of the last releases, and I really like this particular one. Out of all the backgrounds that they had that was similar, this definitely was my favorite. Really like this stamp. Now this is a big stamp. You don't really need a stamp press or a stamp block for this. You can use it on this acrylic piece that is already attached. And I'm going to take my card base and I'm just going to use a little of this anti-static. And I'm going to bring in some of this Simon Says stamp clear ink. And I really have seen a lot of cards that kind of use this type of technique. Really like how it looks. I think it adds quite a nice, elegant look. So now I'm going to bring this in, and I don't want it taking up the entire piece. I just want it to take over a little bit of 3/4 of it. So I'm just going to bring in a plain piece of paper just to make sure I don't get any ink anywhere. So now I'm going to put in my stamp, and I see it's upside down, but that doesn't matter because the pattern is going to be consistent all the way around. And I'm just going to use my fingers, and that's what I like about these bigger stamps. You don't really need a stamp press or specifically a big acrylic block or the MISTI. You can just put it down like so. This is Ranger's Clear Embossing Powder. Really like this product. And as I start to sprinkle this on, we'll start to see this stamp appear. And I will just keep doing this. Really like this tip of putting your embossing powders in these little dishes. The cleanup is a breeze and there's nothing to throw away. So really like this. So now I'm just going to make sure that I got most of the area. And that looks good. So now I'm going to bring in my heat tool. So now this has been embossed, and we are going to do some distress inking now. I've picked out some distress ink, this Broken China and peacock feathers, as well as some shaded lilac. Really like these colors together, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to distress them on. I'm going to use my little ink tool here for each of them. And then I will start putting the color on, and it's going to be really pretty. I would like to have some of the more purple tones into the middle, so I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to start with the peacock feathers, and I'm just going to come in from over here and this corner, and I'm going to be starting to pull the color to the inside of the card. And of course, where I have embossed, that clear embossing is not going to show because it's the clear embossing and it pretty much resists the ink. So I'm just going to get some put in here. Now you don't want to start here, you want to start from the outside and pull the color in. And I'm just going to continue bringing the color in from the outside. And it's going to be mostly dark on that corner. And then some of the color will be pulled into the inside. And you just want to keep circling to make it come through nice and smooth. So now I'm done with that color, And I'm going to bring in some of this broken china now. This is also a really nice color. And I will come in from this other corner. I really like these colors together. And now that I've got that color on, I am going to go right into the middle with this shaded lilac. And I really like this purple in between these colors. It is very pretty and it seems to match really well. So we're just going to start to see that embossed area come through. And some of it is going to be covered by the distress ink, but what we're going to do after is we're going to take and wipe some of that distress ink off of the white embossed powder, and then we'll be able to see the design a little bit more clearly. And I really want to pull this purple out into this first color so that it is really blended nice and well, and it's not just like a block of color. And I'm going to pull it right down here into this other corner, and I'm going to just come up a little bit. And I think that looks really pretty with those three colors. Actually, this almost could be a background for a Christmas card with these colors, with the blue and the greens and the purples. So now that we've got our background down, a little bit of the ink goes on top and we just want to clean that up. I'm going to take this chamois now and just go right over top to kind of clean off any of the ink off of where we emboss that clear embossing powder. And that's just going to help make this a lot more white, because of course underneath was white. And now we can see this pattern really nicely. And this is starting to look really amazing. For the sentiment, I've picked out this mom die. Now this is from Simon Says Stamp. And I've picked out some of this. This is again like stick-it tape, but this is the Sizzix version. And I am going to die cut the word mom, first out of cardstock and then out of foam to help give it some dimension. But I really want to keep the colors very similar to this. I'm going to take more of this shaded lilac and I'm just going to create a piece to die cut from. So again, I'm going to start out from the outside and just add some of this ink, so that what will be on top will be this shaded lilac, and then everything will match perfectly. And again, I'll just bring in the die to see how much more I need to put the ink on. And this looks like it will cover well. So now I'm just going to pick this up and I will cut this out like so. And now I can add my stick-it tape onto the back of this. And this is going to create a sticker with this die. I'm just going to peel this here. This is really sticky. I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure that's on nice and that I don't have any adhesive sticking off the end, because this will make your die cut machine just a mess if you have any of the adhesive sticking out the other side. So now that I've cleaned that up, I am going to die cut this piece first with this, and then I've got a piece of foam that I am going to die cut as well, just to add the dimension. So this piece has been die cut, and I'm just going to use my little tool to help me get this out of here. And this, of course, is been die cut with that piece that we inked with the shaded lilac. Just pull this out here carefully, and it has that release paper. I have die cut this piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it in here because this is going to really help us put this one on top. The word mom is still in this foam and it's not going to move, and that's really going to help us get this adhered. So I'm going to start with this corner, and I'm just going to adhere a little piece, and I'm just going to tilt this, and I'm going to start putting it on, and I'm going to peel it back a little bit at a time. We can pull the whole piece out, and it's a little bit tricky because again it is quite thin. The word mom is quite thin, and I'm just going to be really careful to pull this out so nothing gets torn or twisted. And it's almost out now. And that is already out now. And some of the release paper is starting to come off this portion, but that's okay. Now that we've got that out, we can bring our card back in. And I really like how that looks. I like this because up close you're going to still see the word mom. So I've got the release paper off. I'm going to use my EK Success tweezers just to help bring in to see kind of where I want this. And I think I would like it to start about here. So I'm just going to start putting it down, and then I'm going to take these tweezers out, and I'm going to make sure that the word is nice and straight. And again, I can use my grid to kind of help guide my straightness on this word. So I've just picked out some sequins from my sequence storage. I love this case. I've got a video all about how this is so wonderful for storing small things. It's got this little lock on here so nothing can fall out. This is really awesome. I will link that below. And I have picked out 3 sequins. I've got a little purple one there, a little light green one, and a sparkling clear one that's going to go down here. And I'm going to adhere this with my favorite adhesive, this multi-matte medium. This is definitely one of my favorite adhesives. And I'm just going to lift it with my finger. I don't find that I need a tool for this. The part I need the tool is to help push it down like that. And that just helps keep it into place. And apply a little pressure once it's down. And I'm going to pick this little green one up. I love this color. Blends in nicely, and again use this tool to help push it down. And then my last one is this larger clear sequin, sparkling clear, and I'm just going to remove that little bit of adhesive from the middle, and I really like how that looks. So there, that finishes off the card today. Really love these colors on this card. And again, it could even be more of a Christmas type color, but really purples, greens, and blues together are my favorites. And if you wanted to change this up, your die cut on top could be one of the other colors. So really love this stamp, this Emma stamp from Simon Says Stamp. This is also a Simon Says product. It's called the Script Mom Large Die. Again, this part here was pretty tricky, but with that stick it type tape, it really made it a lot easier to put together, and it just took a little bit more patience and time to get it all layered up right. Really love the sequence, just adding a little bit of something sparkly on this card. Really enjoyed making this card with you guys today. So thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe for more videos. You can check me out on my website at Kellyscards.ca, and thank you so much for watching.